I'm telling you, Master Chief is still a virgin. Think about it. He hasn't been. Oh, hey guys, welcome to XP Galore. I'm Rafael. I'm here with my buddy. Buddy, what, man? Introduce yourself,
We
buddy.
all know that Cortana
No,
took his mental virginity away.
no,
All
no, no.
right, let's go.
Think about it. Think about it. He was abducted as a child, and then they were trained rigorously. They were physically modified, right? Experimented on. When was he gonna find a girlfriend?
Oh, well, they're in the middle of a war.
Exactly. So he's still a virgin till this day. So Halo Infinite stands for him still being a virgin, probably for infinity.
How long have you been thinking about this?
He's been simping over Cortana for a very long time. It got very weird on Halo 4. I don't want to talk about Halo 5, but for real, think about it. Do the math. When did he have time? He loves Cortana. Doesn't he not love Cortana? Tell me he doesn't. I'm waiting. Go ahead.
I think they're a very pure bond.
A pure bond, yeah, huh?
Yeah, I think that they're, but you know what? Whatever. Anyways, hi, my name is Marcus. Welcome to our Ramble podcast, XP Galore. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, buddy. How you feel about that?
Hungry.
What's your favorite dish?
I enjoy ham. I know it's different. The slice of ham, like that big, fat, juicy ham with the pineapple, and the cherries. It looks delish. And also pork. That's a Puerto Rican thing.
Okay.
What about you, man? What you eat?
Mine's pretty southern, but it's
Deep fried?
Well, I love a good southern made bowl of mashed potatoes.
That is like you can eat that at any time, bro.
Don't judge.
It's a
right?
mashed potato.
I mean, yeah, but it's still good.
So you're telling me out of all the food, all the possible meats out there, all the dishes that you can choose, you choose mashed potatoes?
Well, so for this Thanksgiving, there's a new side dish I'm going to try.
Is it
that got made at a potluck I went to recently, and it was a corn casserole.
That's good. I've had that.
Yeah, it was real good. So I got to try to figure out how to do that, bro.
But that's not mashed potatoes, though.
Well,
how would you know you like it?
What do you mean? How do I know I've had it. I've had corn.
Oh, are you gonna make it?
Yeah.
Good luck and Godspeed, bro.
It doesn't look like it's that hard to do.
I beg to differ. It looks hard.
Oh, okay. But besides that, I think I like a good country ham.
Country ham. See, I guess, yeah. Good. We see eye to eye then. Ham is delicious.
Indeed.
I don't eat ham all the time. That's like a thing to be different. It's always turkey. Turkey's overrated. It's not a big deal. Do you enjoy turkey? Eating turkey?
Yes, I do.
It's all right. It's not the best of the meats. It really isn't. It makes you sleepy.
Yeah, but I mean it's kind of better for you,
Is it?
It's a little better for you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think so.
Well, we can discuss our culinary tastes later. Anyways, we hope that you all are having an awesome time leading up to Thanksgiving. We hope that, you're going to get some rest. Hopefully, some of you out there don't even have to work on the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, whether you like to shop or not.
I have to work. That sucks.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, man.
It is what it is. Anyways, other than Thanksgiving conversations and weird thoughts about Master Chief and Cortana, what have you been up to, Rob?
Oh, I've been, dude. I got to tell you something.
Okay.
I figured it out. I figured out why I don't enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda. You want to hear it?
I am all ears.
Okay. It feels exactly how I felt when I was playing Days Gone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a lot of feelings I had about Days Gone. You'll have to enlighten me.
Okay. It's a good idea. It's a good concept, right? It's an open world kind of deal, right?
Okay.
But the problem with it is the pacing. There's so much cool things you get to do in the game eventually, but being a completionist, I want to explore everything. I want to talk to everyone. And by the time I get that juicy storyline that I want, I've invested so many hours and it feels like it's dragging. So I actually enjoyed Days Gone. I really did, but it took a lot of investing my time to finally get to the good part, right? So
Okay.
Andromeda did the same exact thing. The pacing is kind of slow because it has that open world element to it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It's not a terrible game. I just feel like it's kind of slower than the original trilogy. So that's my take. That's the only thing I've been playing. This is what I do when there's nothing good out at the moment. I go backwards and I try to look for games that I haven't experienced, and that was one of them. And I think it's overdue, so I'm giving it a shot. And other than that, been working, driving Uber, hopefully not getting murdered, and working a seasonal job just to get by. What about you, buddy? What you been up to?
Well, I too have been working. I did my job search for now has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a job that is not necessarily my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but it will do for now until I kind of figure out a plan. I'm the kind of person that like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one by far that goes through this, but like there are so many people out there I think that like feel that struggle between doing something that you're really passionate about
Mm-hmm.
and and then doing something that's like safe that makes sure that the bills are paid and everything.
Mm.
And I really hate that there's those cannot always be inclusive, that like those things always have to be mutually exclusive for a lot of people.
Yeah, we'll eventually find it, but I understand completely. Just paying bills, you're just working out of necessity, but you
Hmm.
don't have that passion. Your heart is not there with the job.
Yeah.
I had plenty of those, but I did have a few my younger years that I really enjoyed working, and it was when I was working with my friends at a video game store. Those were good, the good old days, innocent
Hmm.
times, you know.
Hmm.
But sometimes that doesn't pay the bill anymore. The bills are a little more pricier and the pay wasn't as amazing. So you got to pick and choose, right? And I chose responsibility, and sometimes responsibility, the jobs can be stale.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And yeah, not to talk about it too much, but yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm kind of working on just kind of working on figuring some stuff out with that. And for now, like if I decide to stick with a job, then it'll be perfectly fine. It'll like I'm not it's not a job that I'm going to fail at or anything, and it'll definitely pay the bills and keep me nice and safe and secure and fed and all the good stuffs, you know.
Exactly. There you go. Being optimistic, positive
Um,
thinking.
but because of this job, I have not played much in the way of games at all.
No, okay, now you that's a terrible job. You got to get out of there. What are you
I
doing?
know. Oh man, you just flipped ship real fast.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's
nah, it's
horrible.
gotta
You're
go.
not living.
It's gotta go. You gotta
You gotta
go.
go. You definitely gotta go. If it takes away your sense of your personality, is not worth it, bro. Get the hell out of there.
Let me see what I can do. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but yeah. Other than that, oh, I do have some good news. I finished and rolled credits on Deathloop last night.
You got me excited. I thought you were gonna say I finished Bayonetta, but go ahead. That's
I have
good
not
too.
been able to touch Bayonetta since last
I
weekend.
thought you say you didn't have time to play video games and you're playing Deathloop.
Okay, well, Deathloop is different. Okay, and I also have not had that much time because like I was able to get that done over a course of like Friday night and Saturday.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
It's fine. It's fine. Deathloop is a great game. I'm not talking smack. It's a
yeah,
really good game.
it's as of now, unless something changes my mind, it is probably my game of the year.
Ooh. Well, you know what you're voting for.
Yeah, I already did. I already voted for
Spoiler alert. So
that.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we do plan on doing an episode here very soon that where we'll go in depth on each of the categories of the Game Awards and our we'll say what the nominees are and then
Yeah.
we'll discuss who we picked and why. I'm real curious
Are you
to hear
excited?
about your sports game of the year, Rafael.
What with my sports?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
sports. I can tell you the trick. You want to
What's
know
the,
how I voted?
how did you vote?
I looked at their pictures and I was like,
Wow,
this person looks like a nice person. This guy's too
wow.
aggressive. This one's putting a thumbs up. I like him. True story. That's
That's a
that's how much I
terrible
care.
way to
I
vote.
don't care about sports. You know, kudos for him. That I voted. I care for the person. It's It's different. It's just not my genre. I'm sorry, guys. But I still participated. You can't talk crap about it. Isn't that how people vote nowadays? You just look at the person and be like, hmm.
I am trying to
Research?
vote. Yeah, do research and vote. Like I
Nobody
went
does research anymore.
I went over some of my categories again last night, like some of the people I picked. And for the games that like I hadn't played, I tried to watch like YouTube reviews on to just
Yeah.
sort of see like how things look. And so yeah.
I
I'm
did
gonna
that. I did that with anything that had nothing to do with sports or
yeah,
esports.
yeah. So
Mhm.
I will we'll discuss it again. It might be our next episode that we discuss that because we're coming up on it.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. Hell yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
yeah. So well, besides that, I don't have much in the way of like a various amount of news.
You're not gonna talk about Master Chief. Well, I'm
We're
sorry, Halo about multiplayer.
we can discuss that real fast. So yes, last it was not over this past week, but late the week before,
Uh huh.
Microsoft celebrated, or Xbox specifically. Oh, it was actually this Monday, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
this
it was.
this
Yeah.
past Monday. Yeah, Microsoft and Xbox celebrated their 20-year anniversary. It was a really cool little live stream they did. They went back and kind of sort of reminisce on some of the big moments
Hell
for
yeah.
Xbox, including the
Mm-hmm.
famed on stage reveal of the original Xbox
Oh,
that had
that
Bill
was weird.
Gates and The Rock.
And The Rock. Yeah, that was so
You know,
weird.
they announced that they're selling oil paintings of that moment now
That
too.
is weird. Yeah, I saw The Rock advertising that too. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna get this," and he advertised his movie from Netflix too, which was
Yeah, the
strange.
Red
Why?
Notice. I was like, what
Why
are you
would I
doing?
want three eggs, bro? We're talking about Xbox here,
hmm
but whatever. That was cool though. I thought it
And
was cool.
something I might try to catch is they are coming out with like a documentary series about the making of Xbox, which might be kind of interesting.
That I will watch. Yeah.
Because I mean, there's some history behind that behind Microsoft getting into the console
Yeah.
game. But one of the biggest pieces of news, which unfortunately kind of leaked and was rumored and turned out to be true, but it's still a big win nonetheless for 343 Industries. Halo Infinite multiplayer just shadow dropped
Yeah.
ahead of the release of the campaign. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, whether it's on PC or console, you can go in right now and download Halo Infinite multiplayer and start playing today. It's listed as beta, but it's essentially the game. Like they have the ranked arenas up now too, so you can start getting your ranking in if
They're
you
still
wanted to.
tweaking it as you play, which is cool. They're
They
still.
are. They are. One of the I remember already reading one of the big things they've already tweaked is some of the complaints players had was the fact of like how slow the progression was because
Yeah.
there's daily and weekly challenges just like most of these multiplayer games now for XP and to go through the season pass and all. And they just were there's a lot of comments about how slow and hard that grind is. So there's a lot of like things they've already tweaked with that, which is really cool. And I'll say this: I've seen some people who have been able to sort of talk about their experience with the campaign,
Ooh.
and they said that there was a reason that the game got delayed a year, and it is all the better for it.
Yeah. The graphics.
Yeah, that
Immediately, the graphics. You can
yeah.
tell.
Now I haven't watched any of the videos about the campaign. I know several campaign videos that come out. I'm trying to avoid those.
I was
So
as well, but I was watching the comparison of the announcement, the time they showed the first footage of the game, and the comparison of the updated graphics. So it didn't really spoil much of things that I have not seen. It's the same kind of layout. So it was kind of safe. No spoilers
mhm.
for me. And they did improve the graphics because the first time I seen it, I thought it was, for me, it felt too close to an Xbox 360 feel. And those games still had decent graphics at the time, but we're going to next gen. And when it was announced, it looked so choppy and it was supposed to be a launch title. And I was like, this is going to come out in a few months. Oh wow, they're very brave to be showing this because it did not look complete to me. I'm glad that they postponed it and they worked on it, tweaked it a little more. It just shows that they love to hear the fans' feedback, even if it's negative. They took the time to rectify it, so I actually respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
again, I'm not a graphics guy. I wouldn't critique a game harshly because I play Atari games and I'm fine with it. Is that the fact that it did feel like it was not a next gen title compared, the graphics, and that's the only critique that I gave it. I'm pretty sure it would have been fun anyways.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look forward to playing it. I've been on the fence about whether or not I was going to stream the campaign of it on my personal channel, but I think I'm going to just because it would be dumb not to. I think.
You
So.
think everybody's gonna be playing it, man?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are worried when it comes to streaming it because there's a lot of unfortunate souls out there that feel like they need to go onto people's Twitch and YouTube and Trovo streams and spoil it, right? So that's one. I'm not as worried about that. Like, I mean, I would hate it if something got spoiled for me, but I mean, I think I'm still going to jump in and probably stream it anyways. So
I wish they had co-op though. I really wanted the
yeah,
co-op.
they said they were delaying that, right?
They're delaying the co-op, yeah. And I don't think it has a split screen again, which is I know you're not complaining about it, but that's very important to me. All right.
I understand. I totally understand. I totally understand that. I played a lot of Halo 3 multiplayer when I was younger too.
That's like saying you have a fighting game, but you can't play versus unless that person has their own console and their own copy of the fighting game. That's how
that was the biggest complaint about Cuphead was there is no
local
couch. There was no couch co-op on Cuphead. It was so weird.
It is weird. I don't know why they're trying to make everything just online only. Not everyone has that capability to be logging online and making weird friends out of the other side of the world. No offense, Marcus, you're a cool guy. But
we're also not on the other side of the world from one another.
You're kind of like a little further,
We're literally one time zone apart.
Okay, you're like an hour. You're in an hour in the past, bro. Catch up.
Well, I'll do my best. One of the other things that really excited me about the showcase was they announced a whole lot more coming for backwards compatibility.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
I was legitimately surprised. That's
they announced one of the biggest one that they said that I was super excited about was the Max Payne trilogy is on backwards compatible Game Pass now, which is super dope because trying to play Max Payne 1 and 2 on through the PlayStation way of doing it was a little rough, and it's almost impossible these days to play it on Steam because the compatibility for Max Payne 1 with most upgraded PCs now is almost impossible for it to run that way now. So to be able just to download it all and play it on your Xbox, like the Max Payne trilogy, as clunky as the first one feels now.
I love the first one.
I think 2 is my favorite from a story perspective, and 3 is my favorite from the way it plays.
Well, don't get mad at me. I only went halfway in part 2 and never played part 3.
If you have the time, you should try to get through the trilogy again, especially 3 because 3.
I 100% remember part 1. I played the bejesus out of that game. I love part 1. The nightmare scene is one of my favorite scenes in a video game. It was so trippy. But part 2, I think what happened was it's the same thing when you're young. You had to pick and choose a game, and there was something else that came out that I bought instead of that copy. And part 3, I didn't even touch it because of my rule. I don't skip games. I have to finish part 2 before I touch part 3. That's my rule.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a good rule. Yeah. So
it's like trying to play Witcher 3 without playing part 1 and 2. It's never gonna happen.
Right. So really cool stuff that came out of that showcase. So another piece of news in the ongoing saga that is Activision Blizzard, we had quite a roller coaster of events that happened over there.
Do explain.
So I'm pulling all this just to get all the updates in front of me. I'm pulling all this from an article on IGN. The original story dropped that earlier this week. There was a report that came out that the CEO of Activision Blizzard, Bobby, I'm gonna say Kotick for the last name. If I butcher that pronunciation, I apologize.
And I'm gonna pronounce it Kotick, just in case.
We obviously don't really care if this person thinks.
Let's just call him Bobby.
Just call him Bobby. Bobby's World. But a report came out that this Bobby individual, he knew about all the alleged sexual assault and harassment coming out of the company-owned studios under Activision Blizzard, and he didn't disclose any of that information to the company's board of directors. And the report also stated that a former former co-head of Blizzard, Jen O'Neill, who had gotten the position of co-head, but then she left just 3 months after she got the position. The reports say that she also experienced this kind of harassment. She was paid less than her male counterpart, Mike Ybarra, and said she had been tokenized by the company, meaning like she was probably put in place as sort of like a female figurehead to show, hey, we're diverse.
Oh no.
We're not all just white males in the company.
They didn't even give it for her skills and her hard work.
And this isn't in this article, but I think I remember reading something along those lines too, that like when she brought up the discrepancy in pay between her and Mike Ybarra, she was told that it wouldn't be fair to Mike Ybarra if her pay was bumped up to be equal with his. It wouldn't be fair to him.
Oh no, that is terrible.
I know, just
right?
the audacity, right?
What the hell is that? Dude, he's like, you can't even get me like 50 cents less than like just barely close to him, or a quarter less. No, they're like, nah, we don't want to embarrass him that you're just getting close to his pay.
Right. So
that is fucked.
It is. And of course, the Bobby Kotick, he came forward and was like, no, this is all a farce. This is inaccurate and misleading. He pretty much said if anyone, and the article quotes him as saying that anyone who doubts my conviction to creating the most inclusive workplace doesn't really appreciate how important this is to me. So, whatever. So as updates rolled out, one of the Workers Alliance tied in with Activision Blizzard called for a walkout. They were staging a walkout of Activision Blizzard employees, and they had a list of demands, including the removal of Bobby Kotick as CEO, asking him to step down. And they just said they'll continue to do that until at least that happens.
This is a big company, and there's a lot of people being basically booted out because just cleaning house. This is going to affect them like big time. They have big titles.
Unfortunately, the board of Activision Blizzard is standing by their CEO.
CEO Bobby?
Yeah, they're standing by Bobby Kotick. They feel like he's already implemented industry-leading changes, including a zero-tolerance harassment policy, a dedication to achieving significant increases to percentages of women and non-binary people in our workforce, and yada, yada, yada. So pretty much the board is standing behind him, and they're not going to ask him to step down. But now the shareholders are getting involved and asking for him to step down too. And when you get the shareholders involved, that's kind of a big deal.
Yep, that's a big deal.
And there's been several companies that have publicly come out and said that they are either going to cut ties or reevaluate their partnerships and relationships with Activision Blizzard, including Microsoft and Xbox's own Phil Spencer.
What did he say?
He said that they're going to, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he said that they are going to reevaluate their working relationship and figure out, what the best step forward is.
That's a lot of drama. A lot of drama in the works of creating a video game for us to escape to a fantasy world. Right now, it's getting a little rough, man.
But if this is what it takes to start breaking down some barriers and to remove gatekeeping and just all sorts of harassment, both sexual and otherwise, out of these workplaces, it just shows that like this kind of culture, the gaming industry is not immune to it, but the gaming industry can also make strides to fix it.
Yeah. It's inevitable. It's just hopefully moving forward, this will be fixed. It won't happen again. And then we can go back to going to the companies, creating games that we love, and working together, and not this crazy sexist and racial thing. I just want us to make awesome games, please. Is that too much to ask?
Speaking of making awesome games,
it's not going to be a Debbie Downer, right? You're going to tell me something positive now, right?
It's kind of expected.
Okay, go ahead.
So speaking of Xbox, Bethesda has come out and officially stated that Elder Scrolls 6 will be a Microsoft and PC exclusive title, to the surprise of nobody.
They bought them.
I mean, right. Like, you're not going to spend billions of dollars on a company and not put out exclusive titles.
Yeah,
for it, right.
That's a great move on their end because they needed their own exclusive games.
Yeah, they
They
need a lot more.
really,
They need
they,
a lot more first party wins for
oh
sure.
yeah, man. They didn't have anything. They had what? Halo and Gears for the longest time. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Can you
Yeah.
name others? I can't remember others.
I think Sunset Overdrive technically.
Nope, don't care. See, you just said
Um,
it and I didn't feel anything.
Quantum Break, which is a
That was
Remedy game.
that was cool. I'll give them
Mm-hmm.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You know, Mass Effect used to be an Xbox exclusive.
That is a true story. But guess what? Then PlayStation got it and the PC. Yeah. So it wasn't as special anymore. That's like saying Half-Life. Remember Half-Life? Half-Life 2
Mm-hmm.
came out in all of them. Oh, and BioShock. Same thing. BioShock was first Microsoft.
Was it?
Yeah, it was first from Microsoft and then it eventually come out. I think so. I want to say it is. I may be wrong. But if you're gonna play BioShock, play it on an Xbox. Don't play it on Xbox just has a better controller for first person shooter games.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if I would
That's a
agree with that.
fact. That is a fact.
That is a matter of
Don't
opinion,
you
sir.
dare.
That is a matter of opinion.
What's the best? What's the best?
I'm not going to say there's a best. I'm
is
just
it
saying
PC? It is. It kind of is because the mouse is a kind of faster reaction. But controller wise, I'm gonna give it to Microsoft.
Okay.
The analog stick, it just makes sense. The position of the analog sticks makes sense to me. Anyways,
I'll give you that. I will give
right?
you that. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Elder Scrolls 6 was announced what E3 2018. And the only thing we saw was just like what? Just a world.
A little thing. There was like,
And it
hey,
just
by
said
the way,
Elder
you know,
Scrolls.
we're thinking about it, but this is all
Guess
you
what?
get.
You're gonna get just the title. Oh, look at the graphics of the title. That's not even the gameplay graphics.
Well, because they've got whatever they got on their plate, right? They've got Starfield, which is supposed to be coming.
Never coming out.
Yes, it is. It's coming out in November of next year.
Just like Elder Scrolls 6, never coming out.
It's 100% coming out. What are you talking about?
It's gonna get delayed, man.
No, it's not.
It's going to get delayed.
Do not put that juju on it.
It was announced in 2018 as well, Starfield.
Mm-hmm. I know. So they've had 3 years since they've announced it to make it.
Okay. We'll see. We'll play that game.
Okay. Anyways, so they got Starfield, and then I don't even know if Elder Scrolls is next on the docket after that. I don't know if it's that or if it's another Fallout.
Damn, they still make Fallouts.
I take that back. I think Elder Scrolls would have to be next if you follow the order of how this has gone, because
was it Fallout 76 the latest Fallout? Can't they just fix that one?
And then they did Fallout 4 as well. So there's been, and the time since Skyrim has come out, there's been Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. So
all right, Bethesda, you got this. Microsoft, you got them. So you're good. You're golden, right?
Yes.
So that means the next Doom, the next Doom is going to be Microsoft. If there's another Doom.
Yeah, I'm kind of fatigued on Doom, but
don't you dare.
Anyways, moving on before you murder me. Ralph, what do you want to talk about tonight, buddy? What's our main onus of discussion here?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the new consoles since Black Friday is coming out, the holidays right around the corner as well. And it's still very difficult to pick up a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. Now, I've seen plenty of Series S's, but I don't want an S. I want an X. I want the CD port for me to put my CDs in. I don't like, again, my preference. I don't do digital. Okay. It looks like there's gonna be some struggling on creating these consoles because the CPU and the GPU inside the PlayStation 5, the supply chip, I guess.
Well, so like one of the biggest things that are in short supply right now are the semiconductors.
There it is. Yeah. So there's a problem with the resources, with the minerals to create them. So it's going to make it difficult for them to keep mass producing these consoles. Now, there's a lot of bots out there. They're purchasing these consoles and selling them. What are they called again? Jesus Christ, my English.
Scalpers. Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to edit that. Those freaking scalpers are taking the opportunity for us, the ones that don't have the consoles, to purchase it. And they stated that these chips, are going to probably be the second half of 2022. They're going to gradually get these chips back in production. So it may be very difficult to pick up a new console, next gen console.
So you kind of brought up two good points, and to kind of go into detail about them a little bit here. So when
you're the facts guy, I'm just a dude that am upset that I don't have my Xbox yet.
You have a PS5 though.
I got a PS5. Yeah, but I wanted the Series X as well, man. You got them both. You're not complaining.
honestly, I think you're doing better by having a PS5.
I know I am doing better. That's why I got
Okay,
the
then
PS5.
there's people that don't have either.
Okay, it's true. It's true.
So yeah, so the semiconductor thing that's one of the biggest hurdles. So to kind of recap, back when COVID happened, it kind of put a huge dent in the supply chain for a lot of things, including semiconductors. The reason that's important is because semiconductors are not just for the consoles, they're for everything. They're in smartphones, they're in certain cars, they're in TVs, they're in all kinds of things, right? So you've got so many different products that need those semiconductors. And if I had to guess, I would say that gaming consoles are not necessarily on the top tier list of what needs the semiconductors, right? You know that the manufacturers of phones for Apple and for Samsung and for other companies are probably getting those semiconductors first because, you know, as profitable of an industry as gaming is, everybody has a cell phone.
Yeah, everybody
and
has a cell phone.
Right. So you know you got that, and then of course cars are probably a big thing, but TVs too, you know, because TVs are more versatile. So you know you need those for that. So unfortunately, I think that a lot of gaming console manufacturers are a little bit lower on the totem pole because of that, you know. And so thankfully, in my opinion, I don't think that just coming from like your normal third party sellers as well as like Microsoft and Sony themselves, I don't think we've seen a huge price hike because of this. I think the pricing of everything is kind of on par with what consoles have been in the past, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's better because
Like
what was it? PlayStation 3 was ridiculous.
yeah, the PlayStation 3 was like at least 600
Jesus,
out
no, it
the
was
gate.
way. It was. I felt like it was 799,
It might have
seven
been
hundred and ninety nine.
in some places, yeah, yeah. But like so we're not even hitting that level. Like so
Thank God. Yeah.
I'm sure they're operating at a loss, but yeah, like that price hike is not being passed on to consumers, which I think is incredible. So and then you want to talk about you know scalpers.
Yes.
So anybody who's ever tried to collect any sort of tennis shoe or sneaker, there's all about this
Of course,
because
that's how they make their money, man.
it is. You're exactly right. It is. And so, you know, there's a lot of scalper bots out there that as soon as
That's
something goes live, that you know these bots will go in and just buy everything up real fast.
immediately. Yeah, within
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. And so I think this process has also shown a huge inadequacy in a lot of reseller or sellers websites in security measures like two-factor authentication or just you know human verification on these websites to prove you know that the person buying it is an actual real person, you know.
Yeah, not a bot. Yep, you got to pick
Hmm.
those pictures, those street
Yeah,
poles, and those cars and bikes. It's
they've
annoying as
changed them
shit.
up a bit now too. I've seen some websites that do it where it's like
I feel like
it's
I'm in
an
kindergarten.
yeah, it's like an image of like an elephant or something, but it's like upside down,
Where's
and
the elephant?
you have to click on it until it's right side up. Like it rotates every time 90 degrees every time you click it. So you have to click it until it's right side up.
Oh my
I've seen
gosh.
ones like that. Yeah, there's all kinds of new measures, but like I can tell you that like Walmart was notoriously bad
Yeah.
for this. And Walmart doesn't care. You know, they're making their money. And that I think they're not the only website or company that does this either. Like they don't care where the money comes from.
Nope.
They, you know, so if everything's getting sold out immediately, that's you know, they're happy about that.
Yeah,
They're
it's the
like,
same
okay,
with the companies. The same with Sony, Microsoft. They're still making their money. It's just the
mm-hmm,
bots and scalpers are the ones that are reselling them and making a profit. But if you look at the math, Sony's still doing their part. They're still producing those consoles. Same with Microsoft. They're still cashing in the money. And remember, it's like you said, they're still at a loss because the materials it takes to make a console, it's not. We're stealing from them pretty much because
mm-hmm,
it's very expensive to make those consoles, and where they make their profits is with the games and with the accessories and all that. That's where they make their money.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
so for that, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. Like Nintendo, the OLED one, that big screen,
Oh, yeah, the new
the new
Switch one.
Switch, right? The new
Mm-hmm,
Switch. Nintendo did a smart move and they teamed up with Samsung to create those screens because of that reason, because of the material of that chip was scarce and they're needing to team up with another company And those small switch screens, those larger screens, OLEDs, are made by Samsung. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine the future. Now we're gonna probably have to have these companies combine forces in order to make these consoles. It's actually getting scary to me because this is the first phase of what I feel like where when consoles die and
You think so?
streaming. Yeah, 100%. I feel this is the first stage. The evolution I'm seeing, it's always been physical, right? It's always been having discs, having cartridges and all that stuff. But now everything is digital. Now you can stream it, you can download it. You don't even have to download, you can stream it from a server. You don't even physically have it. You're doing a streaming of it. And it's upsetting for me because again, I want to physically own it. And these consoles are slowly but surely going to digital only. So Xbox Series S and the PlayStation 5, the digital versions is that evolution to me. Then after that, it's going to be like, you know what? We don't even need to make consoles anymore. We can just make an app or make a system like Steam, like what Steam is doing, and we just put our content there. There's PlayStation 5 games coming out on PC now that are exclusive, that were exclusive. It's very weird for me to see them on PC versions, like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. What's the other one with Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding? Video
Days
games,
Gone.
Days
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Yeah. Days Gone went on streaming. See, like these only console only exclusive games are converting to PC games, which to me, unheard of. Whereas there's no exclusivity for consoles. So with this shortage of the materials to make these consoles, I think, and realistically, if you think about it, it'll be the smarter move. If they do end up making just a universal thing like PC is going to dominate. PC, you can upgrade at any time. You can buy parts and you don't have to worry about it. If as long as they're selling their content, they don't even have to physically mass produce it. They just do the streaming version of it. They're saving money. That's where they're making their money. That's 100% on them. They don't have to pay for a factory to print out these CDs, print out the covers of the cases. Instruction manuals don't even exist anymore. When was the last time you seen one in a video game, right? It's just a little piece of paper now.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I see it. I'm seeing it slowly phase out, and we don't know if we're gonna get a PS6. Think about it. That's what I see. Do you see that? I see it.
I know that there's been several people in the industry that have come out and said something kind of similar. I know, I believe it was Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillermo.
It's Guillermo.
I can't do that. I can't roll my R's like that. My
Well,
tongue doesn't
say
do
his
that.
first name and I'll say his last name.
It is Ubisoft CEO Yves
Guillermo.
Okay, cool. I know he has said that he doesn't necessarily see the industry sticking with hardware anymore. I believe even Phil Spencer might have said something about that too.
Microsoft is doing it, dude. They have a lot of PC games coming out on. You can get
Well, that's
that
true. Yeah,
Game
cloud
Pass.
game. Yeah, Xbox Cloud Gaming is definitely coming into its own for sure. My only issue is if you're trying to make sure you're doing something that is extremely accessible to a lot of people, I don't think that we as a country have the best internet infrastructure for something like this right
True.
now. We're getting better. However, if you think about it, with the exception of like some smaller companies, we don't really have a whole lot of internet competition in America. And we don't, so like these internet companies that do provide like fiber or broadband, you know, they know what they have. They know what power they have over us. So
Yeah.
I just hope that, you know, maybe eventually we can figure something out to where, you know, our internet infrastructure is reliable enough and good enough to help everybody out. Because like I've got a very good friend who is also a streamer, who this person has notoriously gone through a whole bunch of internet issues with their ISP, to the point where I think one of the explanations that was given to them was that because this person is a streamer, and because of where they live, the company thought that they were possibly up to some sketchy shit with how much bandwidth they were pulling, and so they were capping it. They were capping that person's internet, which doesn't make any sense, right? Like,
No.
like ISP should know that streaming is becoming a thing now. Like, Do we have to contact ISPs now and say, hey, I need you to put a designation on my account that I am a streamer and therefore I need a reliable this and this?
Yeah.
And I know people that have they've almost had to sort of downgrade their speeds a bit by joining up with the business department version of the account, becoming doing
Wow.
a business account instead of a consumer one, because the business one is more reliable, though it may not push out the best.
That's a cool loophole, though. That's good to know.
It is, and it's something I'm going to kind of maybe consider too, considering that I'm kind of playing with the idea of turning my stream brand into an LLC.
Nice.
And so with
Same
that,
name, same name.
yeah, I won't change anything. It's just putting that LLC on it gives it
Yes.
certain business benefits, and therefore it helps me write stuff off better and that kind of thing too. So
Hell yeah.
but
Smart
yeah,
move.
and anyways, so really kind of strayed from the conversation there a bit, but yeah, so I think I would agree with you that eventually we're going to get away from hardware, or the hardware is going to be less about what it can push from its device itself and more about being a facilitator.
Yeah.
Like how Xbox Cloud Gaming is done from your phone. Your phone doesn't carry all of that
It's insane.
storage, right? It's a middleman, so to speak, to pull the game from the cloud onto your
insane.
device. Yeah. So I think that we'll if anything, we're going to get better devices that can be that middleman in a better position. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we just got to wait for Elon Musk to throw those satellites up in orbit and give us free internet around the world. And then we don't have to worry about this streaming lagging and all that.
I am extremely convinced that Elon Musk might actually be the solution to a lot of our problems.
Exactly. This guy's he's gonna fix everything. Our streaming is gonna be awesome.
Do you remember which E3 was it? It wasn't, I don't think it was it was either 2018 or 2019. Wait, it might not have, no, I don't think it was an E3. I'm sorry. I think it was a video game awards where Jeff Keighley, with his magic powers, was able to put Reggie Phil-Ames, Phil Spencer. Oh, he was the CEO of PlayStation Studios at the time.
You're better with names, dude. I just see person from Sony, person from Microsoft.
Hang on, let's see here. Video
and Nintendo guy.
It wasn't Jack Ryan, was it? No. Jack Ryan is a fictional character. I'm sorry. Anyways,
Jack Ryan. That's awesome.
Maybe
it was Liquid Snake and
you know who Reggie Fils-Aime is, right? Though.
Yeah, of course.
Sean Layden. I'm so sorry that I could not. My head, Sean and Ryan and Jack, they all kind of meld together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, during the Video Game Awards in 2018, Reggie, Phil, and Sean were all on stage together, and they just sort of talked about the future of gaming and how gaming is not about putting walls up and dividing us by what console we play on, that kind of thing. It's all about us all coming together as a gamer. And I thought that was one of the coolest moments.
That was the most touching moment. Yeah.
Because, there's obviously business competition. You have to have competition in any business economy in order for it to thrive. But I think there's times where you can kind of put that aside. And when you can get the three heads of these huge departments that naturally compete with one another in one way or another to come on stage and say, hey, we know that we have our each things that we're trying to work on and sell and be our own company. A gamer is a gamer, right?
Yeah.
So
I support all of them. So for
even those of you that just play Candy Crush on your phone.
Yeah. And I support those who don't even respect Nintendo.
Yeah.
I still care about you guys. There's still hope for you.
You gotta respect all. Are you making a jab at me? Is that what you're trying to do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not that I don't respect.
Hey, listen,
Nintendo.
if you feel like there's something I'm saying that's bothering you, I think you have to reflect. Okay, buddy.
I think you need to watch your tone with me. Is what
I don't know what
you're
talking about. We're cool. We're cool. We're cool.
We've always been cool, except
exactly.
you.
So I don't know
like to remind me on the daily how I don't play enough Nintendo.
Oh no, that's your conscience, not mine. I'm good. I play enough Nintendo.
This is so toxic. You are. So
I don't know what you talk about. I don't know what you talk about, man. You're just making this about yourself. You're being selfish.
Well, enough about me and you. We hope you all out there. Hopefully, if you don't already have one, we hope that the holidays are good to you and that maybe you get the console that you want.
Exactly. Let us know.
Obviously, Rolf and I are a little bit biased, and we like PlayStation stuff, and we both have PS5s, and we know that how fortunate we are to have those.
Yes.
So we
True.
hope that you all become as fortunate as us.
Yes. Join the party, guys. Hopefully you'll find one. It's very difficult out there. Just be safe. Don't fight for it.
Yeah,
You know?
please don't punch somebody in the
Don't-
face on Black Friday to get a PlayStation. It's
Don't-
not worth it.
It's not that it's cool, but your life is more valuable than plastic.
And also,
It's
make
really
sure,
awesome, by the way. It's extremely awesome plastic.
make sure that you aren't getting gypped by anybody out there either. Be careful. Tis the season for scalping and for people to try to pull one over on you.
But if you have the money, definitely spend all of it to get it. It's extremely
Every
worth
dollar.
It.
Every single dollar.
Yeah. But guys, thank you for listening with us ranting here, our random moments. And I know we veer off from time to time, but this is what it is. We're just two random guys, I guess. We'll keep you posted. Next time we'll be talking about whatchamacallits, the voting.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Our next episode, where we'll go in depth about each of our picks for each of the nominees for categories of the Game Awards, and then I think we have one more week of an episode after that, and then we'll have our special episode of the Game Awards proper, where we 100% are going to expect Rafael to dress up.
I'm not gonna dress up, man. It's like I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna embrace my inner hipster. I'm just gonna go all out, just wear everything. A tie, a bow.
Are you gonna go find like a weird,
I'm gonna find
weird
a feathered
outfit from
hat.
Hot Topic?
I'm gonna buy a sombrero.
A sombrero.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not even my my Hispanic lineage, but it's still representing Latinos. So I might as well.
If we're doing stuff by lineage, then I guess I'll just do whatever white English people do.
Just bring a bottle of whiskey, you'll be good.
I always want to try to sit here and say that like I'm gonna do my Irish heritage, but unfortunately that would be a lie, considering I did a 23andMe and found out that I am only 20% Irish.
Only?
No, I can't blame my drinking on my Irish heritage.
Nope. But guys, hey, Marcus, where can they find us?
They can find us on the social medias at Twitter. We are XP Galore. Instagram, also at XP Galore, and then same on TikTok as well. We understand that we've been a little lax on the socials. We're kind of all just going through life stuff and trying to do the best that we can to put out content for you guys. And hopefully we'll have a handle on it, if not in the next month or so, by the time 22 rolls around.
Yeah, hopefully 22 will be awesome, right?
I think it will be.
You think so?
I think one way or another, we're going to figure it out. Okay.
If not, you're going to have to let me smack you really hard in the face.
That doesn't sound fair at all.
Well, you have no worries. You said it's going to be awesome. But just
it's called positive thinking. But speaking of positive thinking, just the last little thing to end on, considering the season that we're in right now, I'm sure I speak for Rolf when I say that we are incredibly thankful to have spent a year making this for you all. We hope you all enjoy it, and you are the reason that we do this. So we are extremely thankful for each and every one of you, and we're thankful for video games.
Always video games. Gamers for life.
Yeah.
All right, now that's when we jump and high five, slow motion montage, or don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah.
Get some Breakfast Club moments in here.
There you go. Well, love you guys. Be safe. Take care. I'm Rafael.
I'm Marcus.
And we are XP Galore.
Peace.
Bye.